What's up? Today we're going to discuss Cardano. Why? Because it's the number 3 cryptocurrency right now, and everybody and their mom are currently investing in Cardano. Which means we have to discuss it as we have many topics to discuss on the topic of Cardano. But before we're going to do that, subscribe to the channel beneath so you can stay tuned on new videos that I'm bringing out, as I'm doing that on a daily basis. And from next week on, the videos are going to be a little bit different as we have got an editor. And as well, what we have discussed on Twitter yesterday, I've been doing some cool interviews with some CEOs of some projects. Which ones? Subscribe beneath and you will find out. We're going to publish them in the coming weeks. Looking forward to do that on a weekly basis. So it's going to be interesting. And I've been doing those interviews and I just became more bullish on the entire market and the ecosystems. But first, we've got some news to discuss. As a Dubai-based crypto investment fund, FD7 Ventures, said that they will be converting 750 million worth of Bitcoin into Cardano and Polkadot tokens, which is a pretty bold move. But they are doing it, and there's some key figures in this entire message. What they said here as well is projects such as Cardano, Polkadot, and Ethereum are the foundation of the new internet and Web 3.0. So there's two very important stuff in this message. One is we've got institutions that are jumping into the cryptocurrency markets, mostly through Bitcoin, but they're also investigating Ethereum. And then there's the wave, and FD7 is starting that they are figuring out that we need ecosystems and we need platforms to actually execute all those financial instruments and all those smart contracts. It's fun that we have Bitcoin, but we need to build a layer so we can actually use that entire layer or ecosystem to transact money to each other, but also through smart contracts, so we can tokenize real estate, or we can borrow money from each other, or that's what we're building with ecosystems in BlockFi, for instance. So this is an even bigger wave. This is the wave you want to be in, and this is probably where we're going in the future through price cycles, etc. But those are two big things, and that's why we're still early. If these big guns starting to adapt to Cardano, Polkadot, and Ethereum, the rest is going to follow at some point, as the ecosystem is going to be way bigger than Bitcoin alone. So yes, we are still early. This entire new wave is just starting up, and that's why targeting Cardano at a higher level is not too irrational, or the entire market is not too irrational, as there's just a very big potential still. Even if like 6 billion people or 7 billion people are using internet nowadays, and only like 100 million people are attached to crypto yet, which means that there's still so much to gain. So because of this news, we see that Cardano and Polkadot are surging, dot a little less than Cardano, but this is good. This is some very bullish news for the projects in itself. If we are looking at the price chart of Cardano, we can see that we've had some nice flips of levels, and there's also a key figure here, two actually. One is when you see something that it starts to run, you don't have many opportunities to get into that coin. So for instance, what we see here is that we got some retests, but not too many to get your position going. Especially after this breaker, you only have one retest here and this retest here, which is very difficult to get into, as there's only those wicks. Which means that if you want to accumulate your position, and I believe that there are also projects still undervalued heavily and a better ROI than Cardano at this point, investigate in those, hold your position and let it run. Like for instance with Cardano, I've been taking profits, for sure I've been taking profits, but you should be letting those run, given the fact that they will be probably accelerating really fast until the market shifts a little. So what do we see on Cardano? We see a nice retest of 70 cents. We did see a nice retest at 90 cents. And now we see it accelerating heavily. So I'm going to erase this a little bit to see where we are standing at this point. And we can see that this is just a massive vertical chart, indicating that that's the second key point, if you want to get your position in Cardano, this is not entirely the moment to get into this one. You don't change vertical candles. Yes, Cardano is a good fundamental project. Investing in this one is still a good idea, given what I just said in the beginning with all the potential that we still have. But on a trading potential, there's just not much to gain right now, and the risk is just simply too high to validate such an entry point. So if you want to chase Cardano, you should be looking at those corrective moves. If you're looking for a trade, you know that you should be making those levels and investigate a trade from there. If you're looking to invest in Cardano, you should be DCAing into this one. Easiest approach is to just take 2K, divide it by 50, buy $40 in the next every day in the next 50 days, and use that to get your position in Cardano. It's just simply not an entry point. I know I'm gonna be shot for this, but I have to say it, given the vertical price and chart that we currently have. So Cardano against USDT, we've got this entire block. We are not going to be retesting that, but that's the only weekly level that I can see. We got this entire level here on the daily time frame, which is around 68 cents. We got a test there. We also got this test here, you know, this area we've tested here as well. Now we get into the tricky part, because where's the level that we can find support? That could be the previous high, so we could be saying, okay, that is the level that you want to see as a potential low, but that is critically not where you want to be looking for support, especially given this run previously. It comes back down to a lower zone for liquidity, so it comes back down to this entire zone. In that way, what are we looking at? So I'll just make this one a little bit clean or lighter. Let's make it orange. That is a potential level that we should be looking at. But mostly I'm going to look at this zone here, I guess, in which we are saying that the region that we want to see sustain for support is this region, including this previous high. So if we get a corrective move and we dip into this range, or this orange one, you could start using that for a potential entry. I'm looking at a construction or a buy the dip approach. You should be aware, vertical charts always correct. The question is when, but you should be constructing those levels based on historical price action. If this is lost, I'm looking at the next level and the next level, obviously, but that has to be coming from lower time frame levels in general. So that is the case with USDT right now. It's not bringing you too many opportunities, given that we are already vertical. If you're in Cardano, it's free to you to decide whether you have to take profits. I think it's too vertical on the price right now, so I would not be surprised if we get a corrective move on Cardano with or without a correction on Bitcoin. But I think those levels should be derived if you want to take an entry point based on the USDT price. If we look at Cardano USD, we can see that this is also a very vertical move. New all-time high, congratulations. And further, not much to say on this one. And then we have to go towards Cardano against Bitcoin, which is giving us information that we have broken out of this entire construction. I was assuming that we were going to make a corrective move, right? But we didn't. So therefore we can use the analysis or the information that we have here to derive a potential take profit zone, in which this is the 1, this is the 0, and we are currently chasing the 2.618 Fibonacci level, which is also found often at other altcoins as well at this point. What do we see here? We do see this vertical move. We do see that we've got an entire resistance zone, which is clearly higher than the current level, around 4100. We also have a small area, which is this zone that we're currently trying to break. So it's depending on how the daily is going to close, whether this is going to be a confirmed breakout. But we can see that we are heating up. So we are making new higher lows, higher highs. Question is this going to be the higher high? Yes or no? But more importantly, if you are going to take profits on this one, the range that you're looking at for potential dips is quite clear on the Bitcoin price. That is the zone around 2K sets. So then, if we get that corrective move, where is my there's my brush. You want to see that higher low coming in here as well, and then we can start continuing for the next big impulse wave, and then we can start chasing a new all-time high as well. So if you're looking for entries, those are the points. If you're looking for take profits, above these zones there's not many levels anymore, so probably around here is another one, but that's about it. I think we're just heating up. We are finally in a bull cycle, so anything in this region is a new higher low and the next real breaker for the next impulse wave, as we can just say that we are heating up. So is Cardano going towards 5 to 10 bucks? I said it on Twitter like a month ago. I still believe we will. Is it going to be the peak high of this cycle? I'm not sure. Might be higher. But we're just heating up with the entire market. So thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned.